Again, welcome to the Tuesdays at 2. This is a program that we put on every week, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. And we introduce a cool or interesting topic that is relevant to Florida or being environmentally or socially responsible and always has a business side or relation to it. We are the North Florida Green Chamber of Commerce, and it's our mission to make it cool and convenient to be green. So what does that mean? It means that we're a Chamber of Commerce, so we promote and work with businesses, and we want to make it cool or valued. We want businesses and the community to value green or environmental or socially responsible decisions. We also want to make it convenient to be green. Sometimes it's difficult to make those choices of going green, and it's our job to provide tools or resources for people or businesses to actually go green. So thank you everybody for tuning in. This is going to be a quick meeting. It's every week, but it's 30 minutes, which goes super fast. So we have some rules and a pretty strict structure here. Please, everybody, mute your phones so that we give full attention to our host or our speaker today. We're going to do a quick little icebreaker, and then we're going to turn it over to our speaker. And then at the end, we will have a Q&A and audience discussion. So we really hope that everybody participates in the audience discussion. We're going to open up the floor to let you give us your experience, your thoughts, your opinions, and of course, ask our speaker any questions that you might have. So with that, I'm going to go to the next slide and do a quick icebreaker. One of the intents of the Tuesdays at 2 are for networking purposes. So we like to do a quick little icebreaker, which allows everybody to network and connect with the others that are on the call today. Please type your name into the chat box. You can find the chat box and type it in. Make sure it goes to everybody. Put as much contact information in there as you feel comfortable, whether it's a phone number, an email, or a website, or even just your title or the company or business that you're with, or the organization that you're with. That would be wonderful. And then at the end, we can make sure that we keep those or save it so that you can follow up with anybody if you wish. And one other little housekeeping I forgot to mention, this is being recorded. So if anybody has any problems with the recording, please let me know in a private chat or just reach out to me in general and we can take care of it. We do have a very new YouTube channel where we are replaying all of our Tuesdays at 2 along with some of our other education events. So it will be played back. We're doing pretty good on time, and I think most people are in the chat. So I am going to go ahead and a few more coming in, but I'm going to leave that. And I am going to. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our featured topic today. We are going to talk about the Florida Green Building Coalition. FGBC, if anybody, I'm sure that's the way that you've heard it. We've got CJ Davila, and I think I said that correct, CJ. He's going to be our speaker today, and he's going to give us an overview of what FGBC is and all the really cool things that they do and some really cool resources that they even have. So with that, I am going to let CJ do his own introduction and then take it away with the topic. So CJ, the floor is yours.
All right. Thanks, Christina, and the North Florida Green Chamber for having us today. Also wanted to recognize our mutual board member, Mary Tapuni, who's our incoming treasurer this year. And I do believe we have our president of our board newly elected in January, Bill Cashman, on, and our president-elect, Ralph Locke. So welcome everybody to the call. My name is CJ Davila, and I am the executive director of the Florida Green Building Coalition. Florida Green Building Coalition is a nonprofit dedicated to improving the built environment. Our mission is to lead and promote sustainability and environmental, economic, and social benefits through regional education and certification programs. We're a Florida-specific certification program. We don't do certifications anywhere besides the state of Florida. Florida has a unique challenge, including natural disasters, our unique topography, and our hot and humid climate. These are very different from any other state in the US, hence the reason that we created the nonprofit to address these issues. FGBC certifies more projects in the state of Florida than any other program, over 24,000 to date. And probably within this month, we will pass the 25,000 mark on homes specifically. We have 5 certification standards. We have homes, which is the vast majority of our certifications. We also have high-rise. These are large buildings, usually over 4 to 5 stories. We have commercial, which is our standard for pretty much everything else. We actually recently just certified 2 fire stations there in Jacksonville, number 61 and number 73. Those are FGBC certified buildings in Jacksonville. And we also just did a 911 call center. We also do local governments, cities and counties. We certified them. And we do land developments. Currently, 2 of the largest, most successful communities in the country are Lakewood Ranch, which is an FGBC certified land development, and Babcock Ranch, which is garnering a lot of national attention for their sustainability efforts, is also an FGBC certified land development. That means that every home within these communities is certified FGBC. All the commercial properties are certified green through FGBC. And they also have taken the time to design their communities around our land development stand, which includes making sure that the community's walkable, that there's tree-covered sidewalks, that there is a school nearby so you can walk your children to school. So it's a great program if you're designing communities to make them more sustainable, but also more livable. How does the program work? Our program is based upon scoring, and our scoring allows projects to gather points. Points are associated with green features that are incorporated into each project. As a nonprofit, all of our checklists are available free to the public on our website, which is up on the screen here, www.floridagreenbuilding.org. If you go to that site, and if you'll pull down one of the 5 certification standards we have, homes, local government, high-rise, you'll be able to pull up our checklists. Our checklists go through all of the different tabs associated with green buildings. So you'll have an energy tab, a water tab, a disaster mitigation tab. All of these tabs will give you points, which are associated with how the developer or how the project owner becomes certified. So if you're looking at, you've got a brand new home or you've got an existing home and you want to see how many green features you currently have, or if you can incorporate some green features into your home to make it more green, you can go to that checklist and you can kind of do an inventory for yourself on what your home has and what we require for a green certification. And who knows, you may be certifiable already. And we're pretty unique in terms of being a nonprofit and having that information readily available. Most organizations will charge you for those kind of that reference material. And once again, these checklists and reference guides will give you all of the features associated with green homes, green buildings, and governments. So say you live in a city, you want them to be green. There's some, you can go to the green government's local reference guide or checklist. You can pull up those materials and you can say, okay, why aren't we doing recycling? Why aren't we doing LED lighting and for our street lights? So once again, lots of ideas that you can provide to your local government to make sure that they're running a little bit more smoothly. In addition to certifications, we also promote and educate the public on the benefits of green building, which includes structures which are more resilient, healthier, they conserve water, and they maximize energy efficiency. On the homepage of our website, floridagreenbuilding.org, is a webinar on retrofitting, which we currently have up. This includes tips and advice on how to improve the efficiency of your current home. And so if you've got an older home especially, what are some things you can do to make your home more energy efficient, more water efficient, and more healthier? So they're really cheap little fixes that you can do to your homes, and it's on our homepage. It's the first thing you'll see when you get to www.floridagreenbuilding.org. greenbuilding.org, and you'll just click on that webinar and you can get some tips and advice. So once again, we are a reference and a resource for folks with regards to green building, which is also in our mission as a nonprofit. We also offer scholarships to college students majoring in green or sustainable education. We do this once a year, and it's usually in the in the spring. So visit our website. Again, everything's on our website, and I'll send the link to Christina after the webinar so that you guys will have that, but floridagreenbuilding.org. And if you check in there right around the springtime, you'll see our schedule for awarding the sustainable scholarships. And once again, we are a sustainable resource for the state of Florida. If you'd like to become more involved, please visit our website. And there's lots of benefits associated with membership, including monthly committee meetings where you can network with green professionals in the industry and talk about things that are important to you, get advice and tips. And our tax-deductible memberships start as low as $25 per year. And once again, everything is located at floridagreenbuilding.org. And I tried to keep that brief so we have some time for questions. So with that, I'll take some questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we jump into questions, I'll go to the next page, which outlines our questions. I have a question right off the bat. Approximately how many projects do you work on each year?
It varies depending on the year. I'll tell you, this current year, we did about almost 4,000 homes. We did the vast majority of our projects are homes, but we probably did another almost 1,000 in high-rise commercial. We didn't do so many local governments this year with the COVID issues. A lot of the local government staffs were not working, so they weren't working on their certifications. So we didn't do a lot with local governments this year.
Okay, excellent. That's a lot, though. I mean, it's not excellent that you didn't do government, but it's excellent that you did something residential. Okay, let me move on here to, here we go. So it's discussion time and Q&A. This is where we open it up. I'm sure CJ would be happy to answer questions as they come in. Feel free to ask me or CJ questions, and it sounds like we have a handful of other board members on as well. We did have some people join after our icebreaker. So if you joined after the icebreaker, please go ahead and type your name into the chat. It's for networking purposes. If you would like to follow up with anybody afterwards, please leave any contact information like an email or phone number, best way to reach you if somebody wants to have a conversation or continue it afterwards. So with that, to ask a question or to tell us your thoughts, please either raise your hand on the video or there's a little icon hand, or you can type into the chat box and raise your hand. I think there's a raise hand on the chat box as well. So I'll go ahead and open it up.
And Christina, while you're opening that up, if you want, I can share my screen and I can show them our website and how they can get to these checklists.
Sure. Let's see. New share.
If you just do stop share.
Yep.
Yep.
There.
Perfect. Oh, you know what? Disabled. It's screen sharing is disabled. Sorry.
Okay.
Enable screen share.
No worries.
Sorry, I've thrown a curveball at you.
That's okay. I get to see everybody's face right there, though. Let's see. So does who's going to ask the first? Where are we? There we are.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, there's our chat. First question. CJ, I'll go ahead and read this in the chat. There's a question. Sure. Typically, how soon will the 2021 to 2022 scholarship information be available? Is it spring, March, or April?
It's usually spring. The committee has not yet met on that. They usually meet and have it ready for end of spring so that they can have the scholarships in hand prior to the fall semester.
Okay, great.
Christina, this is Jody. I have a question. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do the hand thing. So I'm just going to unmute if that's okay.
Sure.
CJ, what's the split on residential for green certification between new construction and remodeling?
I will tell you the vast majority of it, I'd say 95% are new builds. And that has nothing to do with you can't do a retrofit. The biggest problem that you have when you go into a retrofit is keeping the envelope of the home tight. And so what you're looking for is typically the windows need to be sealed a little bit tighter. You have to have more efficient energy or air conditioned units. And so the older your home gets, the more money that it takes to get your home ready to specifically for the energy component of the certification.
Okay, thank you.
If anybody else has a question but is having a hard time finding the hand, don't worry about it. I think it's a small enough group where we can just unmute ourselves. Just be respectful of that if you have background noise. So don't worry about finding the hand. Go ahead and ask away if you have a question. Or maybe not even a question. If anybody has any comments, feel free
CJ,
to.
this is Mike in Jacksonville. I don't know if you touched on this yet or not, but can you talk a little bit about FGBC's partnership with the Florida Home Builders Association and the Southeast Building Conference?
Yeah, so we do participate in a number of conferences each year. Well, prior to COVID, but I will tell you that the Southeast Builders Conference, which is a conference that's put on by the Florida Home Builders Association, I would say is the best conference that we attend each year. It's more focused on smaller regional builders as opposed to large nationwide builders. So it's very specific to the state of Florida lots of times. And there's just lots of great information. They do a great job of, we've had a green section for years, which spotlights different builders and different products associated with green building. And so they do a great job. And I believe that's coming up in July if we can get that up and running, hopefully this year. But I would definitely recommend attending if you haven't been in the past. It keeps growing each year and they're very successful with it.
Hey, I have another question. I was looking at your website and the certification list for homes, and I love the emphasis on native plants.
Yep.
And I was just curious, do you offer assistance to homeowners with, picking out, what types of native plants are appropriate for various areas? I was just curious what are you just certifying or are you actually helping them develop?
So we would be the certifying agency, but certifying agents can help you with that. But what you're probably really looking for is there's an organization called Florida Friendly Landscaping. And if you look them up, if you Google them, they're always willing to help you recommend plants. I mean, that's their whole mission, is to find Florida friendly landscaping that works. And
Great.
so, some of their biggest accomplishments are finding, outfitting these large new scale developments with Florida friendly landscaping for their entrance that looks amazing and doesn't take extra water. And so I would visit Florida friendly landscaping as a really great resource for that.
And I'll go ahead and add to that. We work with IFAS extensions all over the state, and we usually work directly with the homeowners, and IFAS helps them put the correct native plants in the right place. We've been doing that for years.
Also, Carol, in the chat box, Mary Tapuni said that several of them on the call are certifying agents. So if you're interested in that, in finding a certified agent, that CJ can refer you to somebody in your area.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Great.
And actually that's also on our website as well. You can go to the search feature and you can pull down certifying agents and you can look for one in your area.
Okay. And Jeff has a question. And before we jump to Jeff's question, also in the chat, there's some great resources that people are putting up, some links and some places, some other websites that you can go to. Jeff, can you unmute your microphone? There you
Yes,
are.
I think I'm unmuted. So my question has to do, I was looking also at the checklist. That's absorbed in all of this. So thank you for showing it.
Sure.
But in terms of water use and in terms particularly of toilets, you
Yep.
don't talk at all about composting toilets. Those are legal, as I understand, in Florida, but they do take a lot of engineering to be able to put into a home. I actually tried and was unsuccessful getting them into a home. Is it something that you are considering, or something that is a movement? Are we moving in that direction, or is that not going to really come about?
So, I think one of the great things about our standard is that we actually are pretty innovative. We've got a whole section of our standard that deals with innovation. And so if you've got something that's going to offset your footprint, or some new technology that we aren't aware of, such as, composting toilets, we award credits under the innovation tab for those sorts of things. And then what we do is we monitor those things. And if we see that there are more people doing those things, we'll incorporate that into our standard. This year, we just came out with version 12 of our home standard, and it's really heavy points associated with rainwater harvesting, which is something that we hadn't had in there previously. And that comes based on some approvals for rainwater harvesting being available to use for indoor home use. So like I said, I think that our program is always looking to be an innovative program. And so we're constantly monitoring those types of things. And so if it's not showing up in the program right now, it will be if it's being used.
So do you know if there are many people adopting composting toilets, or is that something really way down the list?
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
I have not seen that. Now, the majority of our homes are in large new developments, and they're usually by large home builders. So the odds of that happening on that scale are pretty low. But we do have a lot of custom builders that kind of start off and are really unique and innovative. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'll be on the lookout for it.
Thanks.
Sure.
Jeff, if you hear anything else about that, can you shoot me an email or keep me posted on that? I think that's very cool. I have heard of, not here, but I have heard of compostable toilets and had friends who have used them and used them overseas, and then came back and told me how cool they were. So I haven't seen any around here, but I have heard of them. And I think it's really cool that you tried it. So.
And they are available and they are usable. They are bulky and don't look very nice. So my wife was just as happy we weren't successful.
I think Jacksonville Arboretum, now this isn't home, in a home, but Jacksonville Arboretum, I believe, has one at their parking lot. If you go to the Arboretum, I believe their toilet is a composting toilet. Not
really?
Germany,
The Arboretum over near Fort Caroline area?
Yeah, off of Monument. I'm pretty sure their public, restroom, they used to have just like a porta potty, but I'm pretty sure what they have now is a composting toilet.
Okay. Wow, that's great. I didn't know that. I've been there and used that toilet. I didn't know it was compostable. So I'll have to check that out next time.
I think, I can't swear to it, but I believe that it is. Anyway.
That's great. Okay. Let's see. We've got some other comments coming in. If anybody wants to speak, please unmute yourself and speak. I'm going to read some of the comments here. Somebody mentioned that you can look for water certified landscapers. Another comment, sailboats with compostable toilets. That's kind of going along with the Arboretum, I think, out in, not in an actual building, but in a boat or a park. Very typical for parks with no water connection. Okay, so Adam Morley, Sarah, I think isn't he Captain, I'm forgetting his, yes, okay. The litter getter, yeah, he has one. Okay, great. So Jeff, maybe you could connect with Adam in St. Augustine, see what he did. Very cool connections made. Let's move the discussion. Any other questions that are not compostable toilets? Next topic. Although
Well, this is Mike in Jacksonville again. Jody, can you talk a little quickly about, I know the Tampa Home Builders Association has a green council, green committee. Can you touch on that real briefly and how that works through the HBA?
Oh, sure. The Green Council, actually, Jane and Randy Kahn head that up, and they're very active with the Florida Green Building Coalition. They meet monthly, and we've been trying to bring in different speakers. And with the advent of Zoom, we've been able to reach out to longer distanced speakers that might not have been easy to obtain or affordable or accessible, but now we've been able to do that. So they're right now working on outlining the 2021 calendar with what topics will be discussed. And it's usually the second Tuesday at 10:30. If anybody would like to join in, I've got my email address in the chat box already, but just send me a quick email and I'll let you know if there's a topic you wanna zoom in on or participate in. We'd be happy to have you.
That's great information. Thank you.
Is that a trend, Jody, around the different HBAs around the state that do have green councils and committees? You know?
I don't know that, and the reason I don't know is because I've just only been in Florida a year. I was an executive officer in Michigan for 13 years at a home builders association. I can tell you from my experience there, it wasn't that common. It might have been in previous times, but not currently. But the TBA is very, yay, Michigan. Not right now, it's cold, and although it's kind of the same here in Florida as it is in Michigan, I'm not sure where the sun went, but but I really don't know the answer to that to the other locals around Florida. Do you know that, CJ?
Yeah, one other item real quick, Christina, is just letting everyone know if they're interested in becoming a certifying agent, we do have a class that happens once every year, and it's coming up here February 1st and 2nd. It's taught through the Florida Solar Energy Center out of Cocoa, and it's this year they are doing it remotely, so it is a virtual class, the 1st and 2nd of February. And if you're interested in taking that course or seeing what it takes to become a certifying agent, once again, it's on our website.
Okay, that's very good information. Thank you. Bye, Carol. Anybody else? We are kind of reaching our 2 minutes, about to wrap up. Any last questions for CJ?
I'd just like to throw out there that SEBC right now is still scheduled to go in person. They're working out all the social distancing issues, but it's July 15th and 16th at the Gaylord Palms in Kissimmee. So keep our fingers crossed. We're going to go forward with that. And one last thing, I saw in 2 weeks from now, Christina, that your topic is TBA. And I really got super excited because I thought it was Tallahassee Builders Association until I figured out it was to be announced.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay.
You probably get that a lot with the TBA, right?
Yeah.
But cool. Well, thank you for joining over there in Tallahassee, and everybody who joined. CJ, thank you so much. This was amazing, great information. We like to end our presentation with a Tuesday takeaway. And what that is, we like everybody to participate by typing in the chat box what one takeaway that you had from our discussion today. And CJ, we'd like you to please tell us out loud, verbally, what your takeaway was. And while I'll give you a few seconds to formulate what you're going to say. Everybody feel free to start typing in the chat. I just want to announce what our topic is for next week. If you would like to join our Tuesdays at 2 next week, we have the Green Chamber has sustainability coaches. And we work with these coaches, and they are coming on for a session for the Tuesday at 2 to talk about kind of New Year's resolutions, goal planning, and some tips of getting green this year. So that's our topic next year. Next week, going to be a great topic. So I hope everybody can join. And if you can't, please spread the word, or feel free to join us any Tuesday in the future. And with that, CJ, can I put you on the spot and ask you to please give us a Tuesday takeaway?
Sure, that's an easy one. Compostable toilets.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm looking, let's see, in the chat. We've got some great ones as well. So, well, thank you, everybody. And thank you, CJ, again, for
Thank you.
a great topic and great information. Some information that I think we can easily share. Let's make sure I get those links, and we'll go ahead and share those out as a follow-up so that people have them. Thank you, everybody, very much. And please don't forget to copy and paste or save your chat box if you want to follow up with anybody. And I will keep it open for another few seconds after everybody gets off. And have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.